It's happening, finally! Oh, I was supposed to do this last Monday and I screwed up everything. Hi guys! I don't have a co-host this time, so I'm gonna have to be talking to you a lot more. Who's here? Or does nobody show up until the song starts? Well, this is Jeff Force Gemini. I was supposed to do this Monday. Now it's this Monday. We are at the final level. There's no more stuff to do other than beat Mizar. So, the current plan is I want to make it a 2-hour stream. I'm going to do whatever it is I got to do for beating Mizar. And if for whatever reason that doesn't take 2 hours with dying to one of the hardest bosses ever designed, then I don't know, I'll do a run of like Star Fox or something wacky. That'll grind out some of the Floyd. There's one aspect of the game I haven't done yet, the Floyd missions, because there's a couple others that I can try and get at least gold on. And where is y'all? There's normally a bunch of people that show up for killing bears. Man, you miss one Monday, everyone leaves you. Well, I'm starting. So, if somebody wasn't around when I said it from before, the only character that actually gets to do the final level is Juno, which is why Juno's weapon ammunition is stacked. What do I have? 500 machine gun, 120 shotgun. This is what matters. 50 tri-rocket and 60 homing missile. So Juno's as decked out as decked gets. I'm actually going to be reading these, because I think I might to some degree need to pad this out. Well, at long last you have all the airship parts, spaceship parts, not a moment too soon. Let's get to work before Mizar can make his revenge complete. Mind if I tag along? Cutscene! So congratulations, you found all of the spaceship parts for a spaceship that you've never seen before, but yet the keys to the spaceship have your faces on them. That's not weird at all. Only in a video game could that make sense. More takeoff animations. Man, they put in a lot of work in doing like cutscene animations in this. But don't worry, we're gonna be getting to death and destruction a lot. So what are we in for? This level is easily the hardest, most extreme level out of every single one of them. Every other level you can kind of do whatever you want with health and ammo. The only ones that are kind of the exceptions are the blue key door sections for the extra sections. I feel bad, like I can't leave. No, if you don't like this game, go ahead and leave. She told me to drive. Haha, Juno can't drive. But no, if you don't like GeForce Gemini and like my content, and you're just here for the co-host that I don't have, then go ahead. I'm gonna beat this game anyways, because apparently a lot of people, like, will watch this after the fact. So, I'm okay with that. So, welcome to this level. I do not believe there's any weapon capacity upgrades on this level at all, but how and where you use your ammo and where you take hits ridiculously matters for this one level out of all the others. There's cheap death, start over, falling over sections. The game throws out all the stops and says, well, this is the final level. And when he makes it to the boss, we're probably going to refill all of this stuff. So we have to make this as unfair as possible. Yeah, so every single regular bug in here has shields. And those that don't are the rocket spamming cyborgs. It's just they just spam the hardest enemies in the game at this point. So the only real trick is learning how the AI kind of fires, try to take as little damage as possible and just wreck them. Woo! Because I'm already down machine gun ammo. Because you can kill them to the point where you'll be more machine gun ammo gained than lost. But when it's that many shield guys, and the heavy drones don't drop ammo in any way, and they're the ones you want to get rid of, like, almost immediately. So the game is just like, I've decided to stop being fair. I forgot, so there are side paths that you can take to refill your ammo, but of course that comes at the risk at what if you run into a guy that drops your health by a lot. I do not remember this level having, other than one very specific section, I do not remember this level having health drops at all. Every hit point I take is 1 inch closer I get to death permanently. I can't cheese it like a couple others. And there's sections coming up that I don't want to use the homing missile or try rocket at, but depending on how low my health gets, I might have to. Because I'm already used up 1 full ring. So yeah, it's just how well can you shoot, how well can you avoid damage, and how well can you conserve ammo, use the right gun types. Anyone that's ever gotten this far, some people won't even recognize this level because, again, to get here you have to get all the tribals, and that section just kills you if you messed up those jumps. And this is not a platforming game. Meet the glass maze. This place sucks because the only way to go through it is to break stuff. And if you break certain ones, then you unleash the rocket guys, and if you don't kill them immediately, then you're gonna take a point-blank rocket to the face. And every single stray shot you do could let one of these guys out with before you're ready. It's fine if you're ready, because then you can just mow them down like that at the cost of more ammo, in case you're just not caring, don't care about conserving ammo. But if you unleash one of these guys at the wrong time and take a rocket to the face, I think it's like half of 1 ring is a direct hit. I don't have the free health to do that. Could you run past them? Yes, but that's boring. Also, if you do run past them or do the level in a certain way where you just ignore all the enemies. I find that running past them, while it'll serve you, it'll work, but you'll take a lot more health damage than what I've already taken. I believe this is the room that I was wanting to conserve my health into. Because you're gonna walk into a room filled with sniper guys everywhere. So, yeah, filled with sniper guys, filled with people that do way too much damage. Good day and save the bears. All the bears are saved. We have already saved all the bears last stream. This is the final level. So, like, we can go back and destroy all the bears. We can go and... Yeah, we can go destroy all the bears. We can go save all the bears. Doesn't matter at this point. This is the final level. I don't even think there's bears in this level. Does this level actually show up? I believe it does show up on the map. Ah, the memories. Yes. Oh, you have... Yeah, the memories of this place. Ah, here come the regulars. Oh, wait, this level... Yeah, it's Asteroid. Not, this is the final level. Yeah, this is it. This is the... You guys just missed me doing... Here come the regulars. You just missed me doing... the glass room with all of the cyborg ants. I wonder, if I go back in here, do they reset? No, they don't. But yeah, like, Final Saver, remember the glass room and there were cyborgs in here? When I was a kid, I did do what, Peel Bite said, where I would just run through the area as fast as possible, and then only shoot the glass to get out of the way. I do remember that room, sadly. Yeah, but when I tried to just run past them, I ended up dying a lot. Sometimes I would just, like, get shot in the back. So this time, I went and murdered them all. Yeah, how am I gonna turn this into 2 hours, though? I don't think I'm gonna be that stuck on Mizar. So yeah, the way to go forward was above me the whole time, but you can't get to it until you get the flight pad from over there. Alright, so now here come, you'll probably get stuck on the Lloyd part. Oh, don't say that, I forgot about that. See, that's what happens when you're not strafing all the time. Now I'm all the effort I did to get my health back, now I'm back to where I was. You gotta, the game hates trying to aim at a player that's doing like this forward strafe. Forward strafing is how you save health. That and circle to their right and shoot them, and they get kind of like pseudo-stunned? Stun-locked? Yeah. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! You know what this means. Oh, that's horrifying. This isn't Mizar yet, is it? Oh wow! So yeah, okay, now I remember the real reason why I'm so hell-bent on conserving health, because the only area in this place that gives you health is that one section that you have to fly over. So you either have to backtrack across the entire level, maybe respawning guys. The game only gives you ammo refill before the boss. The game does not refill your health before one of the hardest bosses designed in video game history. You are about to know what I'm talking about very soon when this guy makes me do jump rope with the lightning. Ugh. If you've ever heard of a website, Game Facts, Game FAQS, Game Frequently Asked Questions or whatever, this game was one of the things that, like, brought, yeah, I hope my loop went, but this game is one of the things that brought a lot of, like, people to the website. Because they wanted walkthroughs and guidance on how to beat this asshole. So yeah, I'm not at full health. I'm missing one of my, things. I'm missing, like, a full circle of health. You exploded my sister. You exploded my dog in a tank. Now I'm pissed. Oh, the planet in the background. Alright. So, welcome to the real Mizar fight. Mizar shoots 3 asteroids at you. The black ones can be destroyed. Green have a homing effect, and red loop at you. But the black ones can be destroyed. Destroy them with machine gun. When Mizar comes at you, he's going to do shockwave thing. You have to strafe and jump over it at the same time. This is homing missile. Okay. Remember that strafing is C left and jumping for my control scheme is C up. It sucks to do this. He will slam at you 3 times. Those, you have to shoot him at the back. He will do random attacks after he does it 3 times. You want to get the eye lasers and the breath. The eye lasers and the breath are easy, and then you are going to be grateful every time he tries it. The third attack he can do is the one that will end the game. The lightning attack can pretty much practically one-shot you. You have to do this 3 times, and every time you go to the next section, the attacks he does become longer and more dumb. And the lightning thing will get more, I'm gonna say, jump rope phases to it, added to it. I've had to have the lightning jump 7 times with these. The controls for this game are not designed for this. Come on. So the trick is he will shockwave where you're standing, walk away, walk back, strafe jump. So put it to the corner, walk away, walk back, strafe jump. There it is! That's the bad one. That attack does 1 hit point of damage per frame that you're on it. If you've ever played Undertale, it works kind of the same way that Sans' bone attacks do. Every frame you are on it, it does damage. By the way, this guy has a phase 2, but the phase 2 is roughly a just finish him off. Oh, I should have fired another rocket. Yeah, I'm not beating this one immediately. I'm already on my last legs. How many times did you have to retry this boss? It took me 2 real-life years to beat this boss. That's the only metric that matters. I tried against this boss roughly every single day for 2 years. You see, I hate that lightning attack, how long it lasts. Alright, welcome to part 3 of phase 1. No need to conserve my machine gun ammo anymore. There's no more rock phases after this. But yeah, if I get hit by another thing, anything solid, then it's game over. I'm not even gonna make it to the thing. The rocks are gonna kill me. Yeah, I have actually 1 hit point. A single thing touches me in any regard that I see or don't see, and it's over. Like that. Ugh. Look at how happy he is. He does a freaking fist pump when he beats you. So yeah, that's the reason why I saved Mizar to, that's the reason that I saved this entire level for last. It only took me, what, 10 minutes to get here? but I'm expecting this one fight to take up the 2 hours that I stream. Okay, I believe I have infinite continues. I might be wrong, and that's terrifying. If I don't, after he kills me 3 times, I have to do the level again. At least this time I have full health. Yeah, this is specifically the reason why I got all that homing missile ammo on Juno. Fun fact though, if you fire when his back is turned, it doesn't matter if he turns back. See how I damaged him even though he was running towards me? All you have to do is fire at him when his back is turned, and the missile will count. If you don't have enough homing missile to do these 3 phases, I actually don't know how you would do this boss. By the way, you see that lightning attack that I said he can just decimate my health with? He can do that lightning attack during this phase as many times as he feels like it. I've seen him do the lightning. I've seen runs where he's done nothing but the lightning attack. Alright. I'm still 1 point on my first ring. I technically have 5 rings. And I'm on to part 2. I'm getting the hang of this. Oh, I might actually have to do what I was saying before about doing a random Star Fox 64 run if I just do this too quickly. That or I'll try out the actual Floyd missions for a while. But yeah, you can kind of tell I'm in like focus mode because there's not much to say about the boss other than it took me 2 real-life years to beat him. I believe the hardest part about this boss was the controller. Cause... Oh, new guy. Welcome to the finale of Jet Force Gemini. The thing about this boss that's hardest, that's kind of unfair, is the fact that you have to do this on an N64 controller. Strafing is C left and C right, and on expert controls, jumping is C up. So I have to have some like Monster Hunter claw just to play this game. If anyone knows what that refers to. And then you have to be pretty darn good at figuring out the N64 sensitivity to fire these, to like lock on and fire the rocket. Yeah, you can keep your lock on, I believe, if you, don't switch to machine gun, but I switched to machine gun to try and, lessen my damage on the rocks part. Okay, I'm actually gonna beat him this time, because this boss is almost RNG based on whether or not you can beat him, based on how many times he does the lightning attack, and how good you are at the lightning attack. If he does no lightning attacks, then you just win. Oh! Oh, you can go back. All the Jet Force things are on our channel. Welcome to the coup de grace phase. All I have to do is try rocket launcher him in the face because he has no invulnerability, and I win. Mizar will spam all his other attacks in this phase like crazy. Yeah. Fun fact, he will protect himself with his face. All you have to do is kill his face and you will win. But if you want him to suffer, you can actually target his arms for the sole purpose of just targeting his arms. You don't have to break his arms to beat him, but you can. What you gonna do? You got no arms! This is what you get for making me fight you every day for 2 years when I was a child. Started this boss fight at 12 years old, I beat him at 14. The tri-rocket launcher smoking because I was shooting so much.
Sounds like someone could
Thank you, Tabitha Hickerson, for the subscribe. That was easy. I make it look easy. I have practiced this boss. Like, I beat this boss when I was 14 years old, and I've practiced it ever since, and I'm going to be 27 in, like, a week or so. So, like, it's easy. When you have a person that's played the same game for 10 years, yeah, it's going to look easy. I want you guys to get this game on an N64 controller, or try and do strafing with the D-pad, and tell me how easy that is. Oh, by the way, it was his brother the entire time. Mizar's not a bug. All this bullshit, all of this guy, remember, Jet Force Gemini opens with this guy launching his army, decimating a village, and leaving nothing but a crying baby in a burning field. And it was just this asshole's brother. This like, I was jealous, so I nuked our entire race. I'm sorry, Jeff, I lost control. No! Bullshit! You don't get to just talk your way out of this. Your brother is going to tear you apart when you get back to Goldwood. You out of jealousy, does not let you try to genocide your race and then genocide my race. No, that's not okay. We have to stop the asteroid. Oh, look at this. It's Floyd to the rescue. So we have to blow up the asteroid, but we can't make it there in time before the asteroid hits. So then Floyd's like, I'll do it. I'm going to remind you all that this is a T for teen game with all the blood and guts that you just saw. And this is a person going to make a I'm gonna die on screen sacrifice. Rated T for teen. So this would be a lot more intense if you guys could see the timer. There's supposed to be a timer in the bottom right corner, and the timer is strict. Hi! I just beat, Mizar. Thank you for joining us for the final seconds of the game. What am I gonna do for the next hour and a half? I'm actually gonna have to boot up, like, Star Fox or something. I've done this with 3 seconds left. Oh yeah, well it actually gives you 3 seconds left when you get there. But yeah, that time, I really wish the UI on the emulator wasn't broken, because that timer is tight. No, Floyd's broken body on screen. Dead body on screen. Congratulations, you stopped a jealous brother from genociding both his race and your race. Because that's a response that he decided to do. So, what can I say about this game? Now that I realize I've been streaming for 30 minutes and then I'm seeing credits. Because we have a problem. We have a problem. This is the final cutscene. I don't know. I guess for the kind of new people that were here, all the rest of the episodes are on our channel if you want to look them up. They're all Jet Force Gemini labeled. It is an amazing soundtrack. It's fun as hell. It's hard as hell. The opening cutscene with the teddy bears, the tribals. Oh, by the way, look at all of the. It's just the same. It's just Vela and Juno, but like resized, and one of them's like super fat. They didn't even bother making other models.
Congratulations on graduating from a Dave.
Hey, Fall
Or that
Saber!
is basically just getting a participation trophy.
Yeah, some of them are like flat, and there's like one fat Juno in there somewhere. Go back and watch Mar 3. It's pretty great. It's a pretty great series. But I don't know. It makes oh, it's a gift sub. Wow, thanks, Angel. But man, I don't know. Like this game, this is the game that got me into programming. This is the game that got me into writing. A lot of stuff on like how to get an emotional reaction out of people, how to design video games, how to not design video games. A lot of aspects was like this was my childhood. That's why I sound so passionate about it. And of course, I leave the finale to frickin' half an hour mark. A modern day remake of this game. Yeah, they did do something with a thing called Rare Replay. Look at them dance moves! They did something in Rare Replay where the control, they did something with the controls to make it a little more of a twin stick shooter. But beyond that, the sensitivity is the same as it's always been. Man, I'm so sad that Anthony didn't get to see any of Jet Force Gemini. So, I'm just gonna show him this one spot and just go, this is what Jet Force Gemini is. And now you understand. But yeah. Replay right now. Oh, Shiny Come Notice. Did he fly all the way back to Mizar's military pylon just to disco dance? Absolutely. Well, now that Mizar's gone, freaking where do we go now? I don't know. I found a bar in our journeys. Let's go there. Party. But yeah. Fun fact, the one thing I forgot to show off actually in this area, if you shoot the lights on the top of the disco area that are moving around, those are an actual physical object that is emitting the light. And if you shoot the light will actually stop spinning and flicker. It's a neat effect. And there it is! The opening scene that why is it so laggy? It's not supposed to be like this. But yeah, this start screen is what most people never see. Most people don't even know that this start screen exists. Because the biggest problem is that they can't find the spaceship parts, or they can't find running fine for me. Well, if it's not running fine for me, then it shouldn't be running fine for you. Was it always this stuttery? I guess, like, they wanted to make it slow-mo, but it's like stuttery slow-mo. Oh, yeah. Alright, well, I just remembered it wrong. I'm hitting start does anything. No. Well, I don't know. This was the game that got me into a whole bunch of stuff. That boss took me 2 real-life years back in the day. The only reason I beat it once before, when I was 14, was because I did a Mizar fight where he didn't do the lightning attack once. And that's what got me to win. And I wasn't able to get that, I wasn't able to kill him as fast as I was this time around. So there was like 4 or 5 extra Mizar rounds of him shooting lasers and breathing on me. And he didn't do the lightning once. That was what killed me when I was little, with the D-pad strafe, the C button strafing. But now I can jump. But now I can just do the lightning jump trick. And he still didn't do it as often as... I've seen him do nothing but lightning. I've seen him do lightning 9 times in a row. And then if that lightning touches you, every frame you're on the lightning, it does another hit point. So it sucks. Ugh. Well, crap baskets, what do I do now? I actually genuinely thought that fight was going to at least take like even 20 more minutes. Arg. So, okay, so question for you two guys. There's one thing I haven't shown off really. No, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do the Floyd missions. Oh, that is some nope flashing on that. Where does this put me? Oh, it puts me on the asteroid. Okay. I believe the asteroid counts as a level. Yeah. What? World record 1 second. Oh, you know, you can't get a record on this level because you can't... There's nowhere to actually exit on the level. Checking my speed for... No, speed's 100. Alright. So, can I have a shout out? Well, you're on screen, so... Hi, vampire. So there's one final thing that I haven't done in Jet Force Gemini. The Floyd missions. These things are infinitely harder than actually fighting Mizar. I'm gonna only try and get gold. If I get gold, then I'm happy. Especially given that the UI, as you saw, was a little messed up. No, I did the Anubis one. No, I don't want to do Anubis. So other than the mandatory one, there's 2 Floyd missions that you have to do. You have to do the Anubis one and get gold, and the one to spawn Mizar's pyramid is... Oh yeah, everyone press F for Floyd. Floyd's dead. Yeah, so the Mizar's Palace one is mandatory, and you can only get expert. You beat it or you don't beat it, and you have to beat it to beat the game. Anubis, you have to get gold to get the earmuffs. And the earmuffs are required for water ruins to get one of the spaceship parts. So there should be 2 more? 3 more. There's one in Eskimo. So the Floyd missions are these little flying minigames similar to what I just showed off at when I beat Mizar. 1, 2, 3. Okay, yeah, so there's 3 more for me to do, but there's 5 total. Hey, burn! We don't... Oh, fun fact, because I left that quickly, he didn't even die. I could go back and still get him. Oh, that's right, you can also set them on fire and save them, because that makes sense. So the Floyd missions are the flying segments. They're hard. You have to do them in under a minute, and do the objective to get gold. I don't actually know how the game calculates bronze and silver. I don't know how badly on the timer you have to be to get bronze or silver. You need to get it under a minute to get gold, and you need to get it under 55 seconds to get expert, as well as doing all of the extra stuff. So, the plan is, I'm gonna go get gold on all of them, because I think I can at least do that. And if I feel like, expert is within reach, I'll try for a little while, but I want to do them all. And then whether I somehow get expert on the 3 and Anubis, or I get to 2 hours, that's when I'll call the stream. And then probably next time around, we're going to go from one space game to another, and it'll be me trying to get all the... Wow. Everyone's just like, well, we killed the boss, no one cares. Next time would be around, like, Star Fox 64 or something. Because I've gotten all the medallions in that before, but I haven't done that in a long time. So, one childhood thing to the next. So, I remember all of the Floyd missions, though. The Escabone one... a lot of people hated the Goldwood one the most for difficulty-wise, but I believe with my child brain, this was the one that I got stuck at for the longest, because it felt like, in order to get expert on the one I'm about to do, there's 3 sets of 3 paths, and you have to collect items during the paths. The majority of your stream is mainly about classic games. Kind of. I'm not necessarily a completionist type person, but I also am. So, usually the majority of what I do when I stream is I'll pick a game, and then I'll tear it apart, not just on a did I 100% beat the game standpoint, but on the standpoint on, like, why would they choose to do X here? Like, what was that audio cue for? What was that visual cue for? Because, I'm not necessarily exactly video game programming, but I am a programmer. And I kind of got my roots in learning programming from video games. So I find dissecting the choices games make being fun. A lot of the rest of Jet Force Gemini was me going through the levels and either praising or tearing apart certain design choices that they made. So my stream is mostly about, like, what do I think has more value into playing than just the art of playing? What has an amazing story that I want to convey to people? What has a interesting design mechanic that I want people to think about and maybe see if they see it elsewhere in other games? I don't know. It's called Methodical Mondays. I'm very methodical with whatever it is that I pick. So expect me to tear Star Fox 64 apart if I do it. And maybe I won't even do Star Fox. Maybe I'll do something else that catches my eye. But whatever it is, it'll be something that I have things to talk about. So, this is one of the Floyd missions. This bugger is collect at least 8 of the DNA strands. So basically go down any of these paths at all and reach the finish line. But definitely a game reviewer, but through streams. Yeah, well, kind of. Like, a lot of the times, whether or not I don't really usually tell people necessarily, like, if something is good or bad. I try to provoke other people to think about it, like, if something doesn't work, I have an opinion on what things will be, but I also want to see, like, does this make sense from other people's standpoints? Because maybe it's just a design decision that I haven't thought about. Right, so merit is if you make it to the end in a fast time, like complete it, but don't get any of the objectives. Battle again in an Ocarina of Time. Oh, I'm stuck. I don't know, like, I guess the best example that I could give offhand on what I'm trying to do is looking at the song choice for Pokemon and saying, how do you get a child excited for... Oh, I guess it wants me to do more anyways, just for gold. Okay. Like looking at the song choice and going, how do you get a child excited? How do you convey excitement to a child and make them super hyped to do, like, whatever's happening? How do you make from a child's brain? What in musical art form is crack to a child, and how do you do that? Okay, so that's the... And then I'll talk about that for a bit, and then go... Doesn't this make you go crazy when the song goes... And then laugh at my stupidity. Not... Well... I don't know. I do it better when I'm actually doing it instead of trying to describe what I try to convey. I don't know. I like discussions. I like thinking, did this get you excited when you were a child when you did this? What scares the crap out of kids? What doesn't scare the crap out of kids? In the beginning of Jet Force Gemini, there was a scene where, out of nowhere, all of a sudden you see teddy bears getting enslaved, destroyed, captured, and... Yes, oh yeah, the Floyd missions suck. I'm about to do... You know what, I'll do it on these Floyd missions. So, you come up with a flying section for your game. Okay, that's pretty cool. Only one of them is actually mandatory. Remember that if I miss a single one of those DNA strands, I'm just gonna do what I did to get expert. If I miss a single one of those DNA strands, I have to restart. In order to move around, I have to swing my controller while... Like, this is what I have to do to turn. Yeah, I'll use this as my example. So, this is really neat, and it's just like, oh yeah, have a flying section in your game. But, is this the controls that you do? Is this the control scheme that you want to have for precise flying? Remember, you see, I have to come out of there straight. If I don't come out of there straight, I miss one of the DNA strands. If I miss a DNA strand, I miss expert. You have to get all of them an expert, and you have 55 seconds to get them all. So that effectively means you can't turn back to go get one. If you turn back, you failed. Also, when you hit a wall, you either get stuck or you bounce. Isn't this fun? Isn't this what you guys want? So it's the controls are overly sensitive. The firing reticule makes me flop all over the place. So yeah, this is the actual reason why I was like, I'm gonna save the Floyd missions as a last resort, because they're not, like, I'm not a reviewer, but this isn't fun. Like, there's no strafe or anything. You either fly straight or you don't. There's no reverse, I don't think. Alright, so I got them all that time, so now I can try, but I've been sliding on the wall for too long, so I probably failed time-wise. Then you have to get those three. I'm just gonna get them all at whatever pace I can, and see what I can do. So then you have to get that one. Now I'm back at the beginning of the stage. So now I have to fly through this. Fly through this. Go under these. Try not to bounce too much, and I miss some. Even after all that, I only got bronze. There's how many? There's 24, I got 12. Are you kidding me? So now it's an idea of what order do the developers think I'm supposed to do this in? So that could be a fun puzzle if flying was fun. But if flying's not fun, if the game's not, to quote a certain ex-president, if it's not fun, why bother? I missed one. Oh. So then, does this make you feel accomplished when you beat it? Like you get expert for the sake of having expert? Oh, what does expert get you? If you get expert in all 5, well, all 4 plus the mandatory one, then you unlock the most bullshit overpowered multiplayer character in this game. That's it. You get a multiplayer character that none of your friends want you to play anyways because it's broken. You get effectively this game's version of Oddjob. Doesn't that sound stellar? So, obviously, the devs are probably planning for you to do this, go all the way down the right path, go all the way up the top path. But I had to go back one more to line up with that one. You have to line up with that one, or otherwise you won't be able to get any of them. And that was 57. Even if I had gotten them all, I would have still not gotten gold. I can't even get gold on this. You have to get gold to get the item that matters. And if you want the multiplayer character, then you have to get expert. But if you want the individual item that this thing gives, you want gold. Isn't this great? But yeah, I don't know. Like other things that I talked. Dang, seems challenging, seems like Dark Souls. Oh yeah, you know how I said it took me 2 years to beat the Mizar fight? But I kind of brute forced the Mizar fight until it gave me a good RNG pattern, and then I beat him that way. There's no RNG here. It took me until I was a legal adult in Canada before I could get expert in all of these. On the same save file that I beat Mizar on. It was not fun. I don't even remember how I did it, instead of just sheer perseverance. I just did it till it worked. And I've ground on the walls too long, so now I have to try again. I have to get all of them in 55 seconds. I took a shorter route, and I took a shorter route and I got 57. So not only is the objective hard, but the timing to get the objective done is as tight as possible. You will have maybe half a second when you get it. So you not only have to do this, but you also have to either not hit any of the walls, ever, never grind, or hit the walls on purpose in a very specific way. So eventually, you kind of do what I'm doing at this point, where I'm kind of flying blind. I'm flying off of sheer memory. Yeah, and then this one, then down, then up. I grid a little. Then I have to get all of those and not bonk. I have to do all this, get all of those, not bonk. If I bonk once, it's a reset. And then rush to the end. And that was 105. I was 10 seconds too late. That one was not, I was not even close. And I did the route. That is the route to win. And I missed one. I told you this was the last resort. I have an hour to burn. Can't I just do Star Fox? If I had thought about this and had more time, I had to start up the stream within 15 minutes of me getting home from work. That's the end. I just flew to the end. If I had the time, I would have actually done something different with Star Fox and showed you a couple, things that I would dick around with as a programmer. I used cheat codes as a programming tool to figure out how games work back in the day. Like, I was the type of guy, I was the guy that would, come up with the codes that, make the Star Fox bosses shoot infinite missiles. They would shoot a missile every frame. Like, those are the type of things that I would, invent. You know what? I've had enough of this one. So, you can see how this one sucks shit. And that was one of the easiest of them all. So that one was Escabone. I showed off Anubis on one of them. And yeah, you have to get gold on one of these to beat the game. But thankfully, in my opinion, Anubis is the easiest of them all. So there's 3 that I didn't do. Ooh, hiccup. So yeah, that one. I actually don't remember where the last one is. There's one on Goldwood. There's one on Anubis. Is there one on Icor? Yes. And the conditions for every single one of them are different. Because they're not annoying enough. I don't have to care about ammo enough anymore. Oh boy. So yeah, the Escabone one I remembered being 5 categories of garbage. Because you have to go through all the small tunnels and not grind on anything and actually get all of and actually have all of the things you collected. That was a just nightmare for my child fingers back in the day. So, Icor's, is collect oil cans, and then get to the end. So it seems like a pretty straightforward one. Is this the one that's variable? Yeah, so there's, this is the only one that has a collectible that's not, you don't have to get all of them. But you have to get a lot. Oh, this is some lag. I don't remember this one being this laggy. Oh, I actually can't see what's happening because it's lagging. You're not telling me these idiots are lagging it up. I'm gonna hope that that was the emulator. Looks like there's some great. Alright, so the lag is probably the emulator trying to get the UI to come in, and then failing hard. So yeah, this one is one of the more straightforward ones. If you figure out the quirks to flying, then it's just slam your body into oil and go fast. this is making me sick. Yeah, it's not supposed to be half frame rate. One arcade chip, and I only got 41. Okay, I can absolutely get expert on this one. This was one of the first ones that I got expert on when I was a kid. But it's gonna be hard because it's lagging. I'm at half frames than what the emulator's halving it because the UI is fucking up. But yeah, even though it says you can get, it's still good though. Oh yeah, the frame rate is smooth, but it's half of what it's supposed to be, and frame rate affects more than just my reaction time. The frame rate will actually determine how quickly Floyd turns, amongst other things. Because when you have to optimize a game for console, you're usually optimizing based on frame rate. That's actually a funny thing. There is a copy of Metal Gear Solid 3 that they did an update for, and they made it 60 FPS without understanding the ramifications of making it 60 FPS. Every other frame, if you throw a grenade, the grenade will drop at your feet and kill you. Because the 60 FPS frames the game is not programmed to handle physics on the grenade throw on the 60 FPS frame. So you can't just change the frame rate and expect the game to run the same way. That's not how games are designed when they're optimized. So this is affecting both my reaction time and it's affecting how Floyd flies. And the only reason this is happening is because the emulator's doing it wrong. Yeah. I think the worst part about the frame rate is that if I get a frame when I collect an oil canister and it turns white, now it's white for 2 frames instead of 1, and I can't see. And because I can't see, I miss oil. Most of this is just Floyd flies like ass, though. It's once again because of how they designed the flight mechanic. A lot of this you're effectively flying blind, and it's just, do you know where they are? Do you know where things are? And can you direct your face into it without actually being able to see where it is? That's the unfortunate reality of doing the Floyd missions. And they all suck. And the only thing that they unlock is multiplayer stuff outside of SS and Nubis. Yeah, and as soon as you hit a wall with Floyd and you start bouncing, you have to recover the bounce immediately or restart. Yeah, see, the only reason I went over to the side there was because touching the right wall places you on the left wall. Isn't this fun? Isn't this the content you came to see? So yeah, I believe I have proven my point on why I told you the Floyd missions are harder than the Mizar fight. Like, I could do this for another real life year and not get it. And imagine doing this on an actual N64 controller with its sensitivity. Alright. Fuck it. I'm gonna show off the last one, and then I'm going to do a random Star Fox 64 run because I'm out of ideas. Because the only thing left is the last Floyd mission. Everything else I've shown off in other streams. The only other thing I could do would be show people that don't know the Big Bug Fun Club in person. You know what? I'll, before I go, I'll probably kill the fishes one last time. So here's a fun bit for a tidbit for those that played this game in the past, but then, oh, yeah, for people trying to, action roll. If you ever go to Goldwood again and you want to get out of here quick, you should have the yellow key at this point. So the only two enemies that you actually need to kill to progress. Also, this lag is real. This lag is actually correctly emulated lag from Jet Force. Go in here. Go down here. Go out the hole. Congratulations, you beat that section of the level. And then run your ass to the Floyd mission. I don't know, there's just something about the geometry and atmosphere of this place that I love. Well, so you thought the other two were hard. Welcome to the undisputed hardest one of them all. The only reason the other one took me longer to actually beat was because I couldn't wrap my head over the best path for Escabone. This one requires you to speed up and slow down and do shit and then do everything flawlessly. So it's collecting items, and unlike the Icor one, you have to collect every last one of them. And you have targets to hit. Collect all 16 metal ore, disable all 10 power cells. See? See, look at the frame rate here. The frame rate's way better. There's no UI, but I don't need UI. I need frames. So, marathon of doing that, and then you have to come out through here and shoot all the targets. All the targets are in a straight path, but remember, you can't, you see me slowing down? If I release I've tested this. If you release your finger off of the accelerator for like a couple frames in that area, well, in this whole level, you don't make time. So it's a whole bunch of bumping, it's a whole bunch of running around. It seems straightforward, but even fulfilling the secondary objective, I still didn't make gold. I believe getting gold on this one is relatively fine as long as you're just going for the gold requirements. Yeah, for being straightforward, this one's the best. But for execution, this is the undisputed hardest one of them all. But I have frame rate, so we'll see if my memory and practice does well. Yeah, Floyd, you saw right there. So Floyd doesn't just instantly go forward. Floyd has a float to him. He actually has to change his acceleration in the direction you're aiming. And of course, if you hit a wall, then he bounces to the other side of the room. So you have to go around these corners like either way gentler or way tighter than what you should be expecting. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't remember where they are. Missed one. Oh, by the way, with that speed that I had from before, I still didn't make time for. All right, so that's goal. And if I had collected all of the items, I actually had enough for expert. Well, what do you know? A lot of people say that that's the hardest one of them all. But there's something about the straightforwardness of it that pleases me. Out of all of them, I think this is the one I could expert on. Because it's just... Is it done? Oh, you, did you just show up, Juan? Juan, why do I do that? Unfortunately, I started the stream with the cutscene going to Asteroid, and then... Well, don't worry, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be streaming this anyways, so I'm probably gonna... So look, you bounce there once, and then it's a start over. But yeah, for what I thought was going to be a boss that I was going to die on multiple more times, I beat it on my second try, Juan. I didn't expect that. And then here I am at the half-hour mark seeing the credits of the game. So now I'm, yeah. Well, again, it's not like it's gone. You'll be able to hear me, do it as soon as I end the stream. You'll be able to watch it then. So right now, I was trying to show off, the other remaining Floyd missions. And I forgot. I was actually really damn close on my first 2 attempts on the Goldwood one. But the other 2, one of them was the Escabone one with the DNA was not playing well with my head on how to get it to work, and I was just too slow. And the Icor one has frame rate issue, so I fundamentally cannot do that one. I don't have the frame rate to do it. So then I was trying to show off the Floyd missions, and the only one that I seemed to be getting anywhere close to getting expert on, I couldn't even get gold on the other 2 because of the problems. 1, 2, damn it. Yeah. Yeah, you can, when I'm done streaming, you'll be able to watch it. All the streams are saved, after, so you can just go watch, you can go watch the finale of it when, I'm done in like an hour or so. Damn it. But yeah, you two, you can go back and watch all of the other Jet Force stuff too, because you haven't seen any of them. But I was mostly meaning Juan's, going to sleep. But it's not like he fully missed it. Yeah, actually, that's a trick that I can do on that one. Because Floyd bounces when he hits walls, but if you know what you're doing, you can use the bounce to your advantage, and sometimes I feel like you have to. See, right there, I can bounce, and then go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Damn it. But remember, I can't stop. If I stop, I automatically fail. Bounce, go. Don't bounce there. Go. Turn. Hug the wall. Bounce. Missed it. Hug. Bounce. Damn it, I scraped. Oh, okay, but you're like it. This one has the this one seems to be the most straightforward, but you see what I mean by there's a lot of nuanced things that can go wrong on this one. Like that one, that time I just missed it. Come on. Give it to me. Boil. Bounce. Hard turn. No, went in too steep. Bounce. No, too. Don't know if it was too. It was like too steep and too shallow. But the bounce trick saves me a second, and that second is what I need to win. Yeah, I think that's actually something I remember. I think I remember something about if I didn't bounce there, you don't actually have the time to beat it. I'll try it. 1, 2, 3. Damn it. But yeah, you can't miss anything. Fuck. Oh, that was a good one too. And if I had known I was going to beat it in half an hour, I would have probably been doing Star Fox's 4 today and had done the... and done it last stream. Yeah, but last stream was already 3 hours though, so that was a no-win situation. Yeah, I'm not giving up on this one. I think I'm gonna chuck this out for a little longer, and then I don't have enough time to do anything else. I'm gonna expert this. Oh, I didn't fire! No, I lost too much time. You have to do it smooth or it doesn't work. No, that's the one I have to bounce. Yeah, now I'm getting too eager. Oil. Straight. Hug wall. Bonk. Go. I slowed down. I don't know if that was a good idea. Damn it. Arc wall. Man, I actually had expert time on the first, like, run of it. And now that I'm doing it, and now that I know I have to do all of the miss one and it's a failure, it's just not happening anymore. At least the timer's not as, the lack of a timer is not as detrimental as I thought it was going to be. Because it is supposed to be telling you the timer on the bottom left with the HUD, but I don't need it. You either make it or you don't make it. Ah, if I didn't bonk, that would have been it. Woo! So yeah, it's either this one, or figure out the correct path for DNA thing, or deal with half the frame rate. Because the Icor one was the first one that I got actual expert on. And I usually do that one first, but for whatever reason, the game loads the UI differently for Icor. And with that frame rate, I just won't even try. Oh, by the way, there's no subtle way to bend Floyd and target. You have to do the crazy wacky thing that I'm doing, or nothing at all. The N64 controller doesn't have the subtlety needed to do it and fly at the same time. As I said from before, if you slow down, you lose automatically. I can do that part pretty darn good. I like it when I bonk there to try and get some extra height, but it also makes one of the shots hard. Because if I'm too high, I have to angle myself down, and if I angle myself down too hard, then Floyd will fly down. Yeah, the reason I did so well time-wise from before was because I didn't hit all the targets, or if I did hit all the targets, I just did fucking amazing. But I was caring about trying to do the path correctly and not hit the targets. I was convinced if I didn't hit a target, I didn't care. And it was just by random RNG chance that my finger shots lined up with hitting the targets. I can't do that consistently. now it's either hit the targets or retry. It also doesn't help that immediately when you get into that section, and again, this is how the game worked, especially when you shoot and your shots hit the water, the game will once again lag, and that affects flight. 10 targets destroyed. I'm just gonna see this out. So that's that's tight, straight, far in, tight, and then follow the path. Okay. Oh, it was a meme. You have to understand, this game came out before memes were memes. So, it was a meme. Everyone hated the shit out of the Floyd missions. And because, other than one of them, they were not mandatory, they were just simply not done. Nobody did the Floyd missions. Yeah, if this came out today, it would have been a meme, but this game is older than memes. So, well, older than what internet memes have become. Alright, but yeah, I just have to remember that every single turn after I get up there is a tight turn. There's an oil tight on all of them. Finding a thing older than memes? Was that the thing on the bucket? I'm not giving up on this. I got that close to getting expert already. Because it's not going to come down to the timer anymore, because I know it's a straight path. So if you hold the A button the entire time, you can't not make time. Unless, like, you scraped on the wall. But if I scrape, then I'm just going to restart, so... You know what? Let's use this to turn it into a meme. We have footage of it now. Yeah, I normally try to make it 2 hours, but we've reached the point where I don't really have. Like, I could try and go back and maybe do some of the others, but I showed them all off, and I showed you each of them have their own issues. And I've already gotten gold on this one, so the only thing left is expert. So I'm gonna go for another 10 minutes on trying to see if I get this. If I think I get really close, then I'll keep going for the full 2 hours. If not, then in another 10 minutes, I'll call it good. I'll try and make a prediction for what I'm going to play next. Because this is just suffering through it now, and all the people that came here for the this finale fight have left. Ah! Of course I missed the last one. You know what? I'm gonna practice the next section. What do I gotta do here? It's tight, under, another tight, no, it's an under. Really? I thought there was... Okay, this is the double tight. And then under, over. Where's Menu-sama? Menu-sama does his own streams. He's not here at the moment. Yeah, I'm gonna keep practicing that other section, because when I get these targets, I want to just be able to go straight into victory. That's tight. Far. Now it's tights. Tight 1. Tight 2. Under. Over. Fly straight. Let's see if I can get all the oil in one go. Screw the targets for a moment. Let's see if I can just get their oil. I am shooting the targets. Okay, going in from this angle, it's tight. Too tight. Way too tight. Under. Double under. Tight. Yeah, you see what I mean there? If you don't use the bounce to force yourself into the corners while flying at full speed, you do not make it. It is not a possibility to do it without the bonk. You must intentionally bonk yourself. Oh no. Jet Force is a great game that teaches you a lot of things about life and compassion, and it's a great experience to go through. Because I don't, like, the entire concept of a good game is a thing that I disagree with fundamentally. there's a lot of things about this game that I love. There's a lot of things about this game that I don't like. And that's a great learning tool to have about yourself. Like, when is something too bullshit for you to like it? Oh, I misread that comment because I'm flying. What is the greatest game you've ever played? If it's this one, I would shoot myself in the foot. No, this actually is one of my favorite games of all time. Not the Floyd section. No. I love how this game sets up a story with having minimal story. I love how this game sets up intricate combat without having complicated combat. I love how the game sets up difficulty without being, like pattern-based, cheese-based systems like we have with, Dark Souls. In this, it's either you're good at the game or you're not good at the game. It's not Dark Souls pattern-based. It's not necessarily reflex-based. Are you familiar with how the N64's sensitivity works? If yes, then you can win the game. It's almost more about getting familiar with the hardware than anything else, but that's what you're playing with, so I hope you get familiar with it. Tight. Under, top, bottom, tight, another tight, underneath, other underneath, over. I did the diagonal, but I did it in the wrong direction. Alright, I'm getting better at that. You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna duke it out. We're gonna get this expert. No, I'm seeing progress now. So now it's a matter of not screwing up, even if I have to slow down a little bit during that part. And then once I get that familiar with it, then doing it again without slowing down ever. But yeah, I guess as a fully complete answer, I don't have a greatest game ever because I dislike the notion of that idea. But there are games that I have a lot to say about, and Jet Force is one of them. Tight. Straight under. Double long. Shit. Top. Tight. Another tight. Not tight enough. At least the music's peaceful. Bad angle, still made it. Under. Over corner, fuck. Out of all of these attempts, I've only been able to hit all the targets 3 times. Like, total. Well, I appreciate that. Good night, man. I'm not gonna be up for much longer anyways. Ooh, 9. Alright, getting better. But I missed. So that's another thing. I actually don't know if I can slow down. Because I think I might. But because I don't have the timer on the UI, I can only tell if I finish a run. If I bonk bottom, then I go too high, and then I can't hit the targets. Well, like, I could, but I would have to completely stop, and if I stop, I fail. But yeah, yeah. Isn't this just amazing how... Oh yeah, I beat the final boss in half an hour. And then I could grind this for 6 hours straight and not get it. Yeah, you want actual difficulty? Floyd missions in Jet Force Gemini. It's not a this being harder than the final boss and harder than most of video games in their entirety is not a meme. And I can't even tell, like, if, like, the word artificial difficulty is valid here. What you have to do is very straightforward and very fair on a conceptual level. It's tuned for the concept that a player will do this once and then never do it again. So they made it the most ludicrous, tightly timed thing they possibly could per. Just so that when they do it again, and when they do it once and never do it again, they never do it again. It's the same concept on how certain video games they add bullshit to video games in order to lengthen out the time of the video game, because they worry once you beat the video game, you'll never turn it on again. It's like that, but for a singular section of the game. They knew that no one would willingly come back to this after, so they made it take 8 hours per Floyd mission, so that you get worth out of something that has no worth. There's a lot of things in Jet Force that I like tolerated and understood it was like a hardware or other medium limitation. This was not one of them. I think I'll use Super Mario 64 as the example. The platforming in Super Mario 64, unless you're doing ROM hacks, the platforming is never so damn precise that a 5-year-old couldn't do it. 5-year-olds play that game, 5-year-olds beat that game with 120 stars. It happens. And that's because he knew in a 3D space with that type of control scheme, having timed pressure and other bullshit just wouldn't fly. You would eventually push the game to a point where certain people wouldn't have the fundamental motor skills to beat it. So they didn't do that. But they still gave you the controls and ability to do it. Look up like Super Mario 64 Owlus or any speedrun of the game and you'll see what I'm talking about. The amount of ability that you have in the Mario games and the amount of precision you are allowed to give off, if you choose to do so, is amazing. And absolutely none of that level of precision is required to beat anything. It can make your life a lot easier if you know it and can execute it, but it's not mandatory for, it's not mandatory. It's just an extra tool that skilled players can use to make beating the game easier. This is what happens when you make it mandatory. You become the Floyd mission from Jet Force Gemini. Yeah, I'm gonna do this until exactly 2 hours, and then I'm gonna call the stream, whether I have it or not, because I have practiced enough with getting the oil that I can roughly get the oil every time, as long as I'm not too focused on speed and forgetting steps. But out of all of the attempts that I have done for the last hour and a half, I think I've done this exact one for an hour, but I've been doing Floyd missions for an hour and a half. I have in an hour gotten all 10 of the targets maybe 4 times, and I think that's me misremembering something. I think it's 3 out of an hour. So there's a point where I have other things to do. What? Hey, I got my 2-hour stream. Yeah, it's gonna be Star Fox. Next Monday's gonna be Star Fox 64. I want a flight game that isn't eternally bullshit levels of precision. Like, that's another good one. Like, oh, you want something that is mandatory for being precise and remembering the patterns? Star Fox will give you a score if you get combo kills and a whole bunch of other stuff. Combo kills matter nothing for beating the game. If you do really well, you get a medal on a level if you score attack the level. And that's it. Score attack unlocks expert mode, but expert mode is just like you take more damage and your wings break in 1 hit. I don't think they have more health or anything. And then you just do everything again, but you take more damage. And then if you score attack it again, then you get... No, that was the perfect angle and I fucked it. But none of that matters to get credits. None of that matters to beat every level. That's just, is your high score enough to get Fox has glasses mode? That doesn't mean anything. Although it is frustrating if you really liked the multiplayer Star Fox 64, because that is indeed the multiplayer unlock. So, yeah, if you wanted, if multiplayer was your definition of Star Fox 64, it is mandatory that you have those skills or you can't play the thing that you want. At least it's only once per cartridge. Like, this is once per save file. No, multiplayer's unlocked for everyone. Yeah, I'm just frustrated at the fact that I am both close and not even close. Alright. Well, that's enough of that. Well, thank you for people who showed up early enough for the end of Jet Force Gemini. Thank you for people that stuck around to watch me do the most horrendous flight minigame ever designed. And now I'm going to turn the stream off so that people who missed the boss fight can go watch it. And next time will be probably Star Fox 64, or maybe schedules will finally line up for us to finish Zelda Randomizer. Yeah, remember that? So, maybe Multi-Roll will come back. I pray. Until then, good night!